Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. We're excited for today's video. Beer's courtesy of Chris. Thanks so much, Chris. I really appreciate it. It's Saturday, and on Saturdays, I do Cellar Saturday. And this is actually from 2019, so it's been aged for 2 years. So not one of the oldest beers I've reviewed, certainly, but definitely has some age on it. I have had this beer before. I cannot for the life of me remember if I've reviewed it or not. But yeah, really excited. So it's Jackie O's Bourbon Barrel Aged Dark Apparition, Stout Aged in Bourbon Barrels, 12.8% ABV. And I won't read the side in case there are tasting notes. I also have the regular, not aged in bourbon barrels, which is from a different year, and the Jamaican coffee version of this, also fresher than this one is. So I just don't have, if I'm being honest, I don't have it in me to do a side by side of those three beers. But I'm going to try to do all three pretty close together, so I'll have, it fresh in my mind when I'm talking about it. It poured, there's a little bit of brown when I was pouring it, but once it's in the glass, it's a very dark black beer, not quite motor oil. There is just enough of a brown lightness to it to prevent me from saying it's full on motor oil, but it's getting there. The head, it's sticking to the side glass a little bit. It's a beautiful mocha color, but it's like a donut because the dead center, I mean, the vast majority of the center, you just see the liquid. So that head is not sticking around at all. I didn't pour it overly aggressive, but yeah, definitely a beautiful looking beer. It does look like a double-digit stout, don't get me wrong, but it's not straight motor oil. Let's get to the aroma. Dude. Man. I mean, you get the, bourbon specifically, you get this awesome chocolate note, but you're getting the coconut, you're getting caramel, you're getting some of the oak, you're getting, and the coconut's interesting. There's a sweet coconut to it, and like this toasted coconut as well. A lot of vanilla, a lot of this caramel into butterscotch. It doesn't have the savoriness of no soy sauce, no molasses, nothing. Not that molasses is overly savory, but like, it's not like as sweet as something like a caramel. So this is definitely, without being cloyingly sweet, this has a very sweet aroma, a lot of sweet things, almost like a glazed donut, like that confectionery sweetness, but not like powdered sugar confectionery. You get a little bit of brownie. Lovely amount of vanilla though. For someone who's a vanilla police, the fact that this has no vanilla in it, and I'm getting that much vanilla from the barrel, I'm all in on that. I could see how coffee would be a nice addition because it is so sweet. Like, I'm not getting roast. The little bit of oak I am getting is not quite drying it out in the aroma anyway. So again, I don't think it's gonna be cloyingly sweet, but it is definitely, at least on the aroma, leaning towards a sweet beer. Only one way to find out. Cheers. Thanks again, Chris. Good. Okay. It does have a nice sweetness to it, but not that it has like an alcohol burn, but the alcohol definitely helps dry it out a little bit, which is needed. I do get a little bit of oak, which is needed, and there is some of the roast of the beer, which is, wait for it, needed. The beer itself, besides those drying qualities, has the chocolate. It's a nice combination of milk and dark chocolate, not overly dark, maybe more like Hershey Special Dark. Into the finish too, like it's a relatively sweet finish, so it's not like super high cacao count chocolate, but it is like this sweet, or like the Hershey's level Special Dark. I got more of the caramel and the vanilla, I know, vanilla police, and that stuff in the aroma, but it is there and it's very pleasant. This screams adult pastry stout kind of a thing, right? Like it has those elements without, cake being added to it or whatever, right? But it's not overly sweet. I think someone who's is somewhat of a traditionalist when it comes to stouts and would turn their nose up at a pastry stout would think this is a nice desserty stout, if that makes sense. Like those distinctions make sense. Yeah, because there is enough dryness there. I get a little kiss of like grape juice, like I would get out of a Belgian quad, actually, which is kind of cool and interesting. You can get fruit in stouts, as we know. In that grapey thing, I could see a little bit of sweet cherry, maybe even some blueberry. I'm starting to get some warmth in the chest, which is fine, and totally, I'm totally cool with that, but still not on the palate, which is awesome. My only knock at this beer is it's a hair thin for the style and how high the ABV is. This is, if I'm being honest, this is me searching for something. But yeah, you could get probably the same style of beer at that, around that ABV level, and it would be a little bit more viscousy. Had a little bit more viscosity to it, a little bit more syrupy or full. It's fine with me, but like that's the only thing of note that isn't 100% positive. Like this beer is crushing it for me. Yeah, it's really good. I hate to end on something kind of negative about it because it is so positive. So just reiterate, it's delicious. Yeah, man, and it's aged well. Like 2 years has definitely not made this a worse beer. There's no way that is true. I can't argue if it's better, but it's definitely not worse. So thanks again, Chris. I really appreciate it. Have you guys had this beer before? Have you had it fresh, aged, both? Have you had the Jamaican one? Have you had the regular without the bourbon barrel aging? I don't think I've ever had that one, so I'm really excited to try that. I know I haven't had the Jamaican one. I don't think I've ever had the regular without the bourbon barrel aging, so I'm really excited to try both of those. Have you had any of them? Thoughts on Jack's Abbey, or Jack's Abbey, Jackie O's, anything, everything, comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untappd. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.